Hello, Grapperinos, and welcome to another exciting episode of Probably Next Week on Smackdown. I'm Bryon, and I'm once again joined by the second City Saint himself. No, not CM Punk, the other one. Mike, say hi, Mike.
Hello, yes, we're back here for another week. The Go Home show for Survivor Series in the second city of Chicago, with both AJ Lee and CM Punk having CM Punk should definitely be a squash match, but I don't know about AJ Lee's fight. But yeah.
Yeah?
Are you excited for to watch the Yeet Man again
Oh
have a
my
chance
God.
to main event WrestleMania? I don't know if you saw him win, but obviously it was done on the fly because Bronson Reed hurt his arm.
Oh, yeah.
You could see the referee, you could see the ref communicating to everybody about it. And if you saw Jay after the match,
yeah,
he looked so despondent. Because he was like, fuck, I gotta work on Saturday. Damn it.
No Waffle House for me, yeet, bro.
Shit. So
True. I think Bronson
as soon
Reed...
as I saw Bronson Reed go down, I was like, Jay was just winning this, isn't he?
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm pretty sure I predicted Jey Uso to win, which was not intended.
Wow.
Thank you, Bronson Reed, for your injury. Okay, that's probably not the best way to put it. We do wish Bronson Reed the best of wishes in his recovery, but yeah, that was pretty bad. But that is not the last that we will talk about Bronson Reed on this show, because we got something a little later. But yes, we are going to talk about the Go Home show on the Smackdown side for Elimination Chamber as we go to the second city. What is it? Windy City? Whatever Chicago is called. And yeah. And maybe we'll talk about some good old golden jobbers for the month of February, because I know that we forgot to do it for Raw. So I guess we'll do it. We'll do a 2-in-1 golden jobber special. I guess we can do it right now, actually. Yeah. Let's do it right now, I suppose. So, without further ado, let's just get to it. The LA Knight Memorial Golden Jobber Award for February. Yes. So, a bit of a change-up. I will do one for Raw, and Mike will do one for SmackDown. And we'll just talk about it. We'll start off with me, because Raw is apparently the more important show. My golden jobber for February is going to be the man himself, Bronson Reed. We talked about him earlier. Yes, I will have Bronson Reed here. It's very, very, I guess, interesting to trace the path of one Bronson Reed. He won against Roman Reigns last year, and now he is injured, which was not intended, for sure. I think Bronson Reed was supposed to win that match, but I think his injury kind of put the nail in the coffin, per se, of the Vision. I think the Vision is just cursed, as you said, Mike, earlier. This faction has had, Braun Breaker is injured, and then Bronson Reed is injured, and then now you have Logan Paul and Austin Theory to carry the group, which is fine, I guess, but is it going to be enough to keep people interested in the whole Vision storyline? I'm not quite sure. So, I will have Bronson Reed on here. I think the man has massive potential, and they are sort of trying to push him, at least in February, to be the next sort of contender when Braun Breaker got injured. But when Bronson Reed got injured, it was just terrible. And as a result, I think Bronson Reed gets it for the month of February for less than ideal reasons, but I will award him the Golden Jobber Award. Again, I do wish him the best when it comes to recovering, and it's all fun and games. So, yeah. Bronson Reed for me is the Golden Jobber for February for Raw. What about you, Mike? What do you have for SmackDown? Who's your
my
Golden
jobber of the month for SmackDown is Kit Wilson. Why do I say Kit Wilson? Well, Kit Wilson has picked a feud with about 3 different people, and he has lost every single time that he has gone up. I think he won against Matt Cardona once, But other than that, he has had absolutely no luck in the month of February. I mean, this is mainly for also including his January bout in the late January. But even though he did beat Matt Cardona on an episode of Smackdown, that was in January. In February, he has had 2 matches, both to Oba Femi, and both have lasted less than 4 minutes. So my man is definitely a golden jobber. He's a golden jobber because he's very much over with the crowd, despite being an absolute jobber. So, there you go.
Indeed. And I think he will be for the months to come. I think people are coming around to Kit Wilson and appreciating his act, even though, I don't know, it seems to me that there is always, maybe I'm reading between the lines, maybe I'm wearing a tinfoil hat, but I feel like Kit Wilson is definitely I should say political character. Maybe that's Triple H sort of trying to impose some sort of political statement with this character, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading between the lines. But with that notwithstanding, great word phrasing there, I think Kit Wilson does have a lot of mileage when it comes to that, and even people with bad gimmicks like El Grande Americano have a chance to sort of make it have a longer shelf life and make it more entertaining than the idea, and Kit Wilson definitely rose to that occasion. So yeah, that's the golden jobber for February. Again, nice, quick, simple, all that good stuff. So for those of you who are unaware of the show, we basically just book and predict the next episode of Friday Night Smackdown according to these rules, and after that we will watch the next episode of Smackdown as it airs after this recording, and we will score our predictions and bookings based on this scoring system, and then we will tell you what we got here on the next episode. And then we do the whole thing all over again. So, let's get to the scores. Whopping 17. I know, it's a lot of points for me. And frankly, it is down to a couple of things. Number one, I had Oba Femi and Trick Williams winning their respective matches. I also had Tiffany Stratton versus Alba Fire correct. That whole match was predicted correctly from my side. And I got Cody, Jacob, Drew, Io, Rhea, MFT, Chelsea, Apollo, and Matt appearing. That's the majority of the points there. MFT, of course, counting for, 5 points, 6 points, so it's a lot of points. And yeah, I got a large amount of points, but I'm not quite sure about this week's booking. I feel like this week's booking for me is definitely kind of hard to do, especially because it's a go-home show. But we'll see. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, so I only got 8 points last week. I didn't include the MFT. I need to remember to include the MFT and the Wyatt 6 in these shows, because it does give you a lot of points. And they're almost certain to show up at least until WrestleMania, because it seems like that is where this feud is going to go. I got points from appearances of Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn. I got Cody Rhodes' initial promo right. I got Tiffany Stratton and Alba Fire correct. And I got the winner of the men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match correctly as well. So,
all right, great. Well, let's hope that you get a lot of points coming in and all that good stuff, because what's announced for the Go Home show, we got a couple of things here. We got Candice LeRae going on Jordan Grace. We got Oba Femi taking on The Miz. We got Uncle Howdy versus Solo Sikoa. And Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Nia Jax and Lash Legend for the Women's Tag Team Championship. So, without further ado, let's book this thing. Get to my version of the show first, as Drew McIntyre heads to the ring. He talks about what happened last week, and that no one can take the title from him, because they're all busy fighting each other, and I can just come in and just cause chaos in front of everyone, and isn't that great? The chamber doesn't even matter to Drew McIntyre, in fact, because he knows that he can take on whoever wins that match, even if that person is on the other brand. As we all know, the people on SmackDown are not that great. He is then confronted by Trick Williams, who says it's tricky time, and that the title belongs to him. He's gonna bring his two big steppers, or whatever he calls them. He's gonna bring them down on Drew. Eventually, when he wins the chamber, he is then interrupted by Javon Evans, who says it's bouncy boy time. It's time to bounce with the bouncy boy. Definitely not tricky time. And he is then interrupted by Jey Uso, who yeets and says yeet, and then he yeets all over the place. And then he is interrupted by LA Knight, who says, enough of that eating is garbage. It is actually LA Knight's time. Yeah. Drew laughs at the competition from the chamber and says, that's all you guys got for the chamber? How embarrassing. These are my potential opponents for WrestleMania? Give me a break. He is then attacked by Cody from the back, who is then attacked by Jacob. Sami comes out to confront Jacob due to what happened last week, but before he can lay a punch, Nick Aldis comes out and announces that, well, he knows Sami wants some retribution from last week, so why not, in the main event of the show, have it be Sami Zayn versus Jacob Fatu. So that will be the main event for the show. So, two things here. This is just to build up the men's Elimination Chamber match with everyone getting mic time. And also, this is, again, setting up the storyline between Drew and Cody and Jacob, sort of going into Chamber and going into Mania. And I still think we're heading for a multi-man kind of match between the winner of the Chamber, Cody or Randy. And then we have Sami and Jacob and all these other guys, right? So I think it's going to be a multi-man match. So there we go. Moving on, Oba Femi versus The Miz, yet another jobber match where The Miz has to job out to yet another future talent, because I'm going to have Oba Femi win by pinfall. However, ultimately, with regards to his contract situation, I think Oba Femi chooses Raw, while I think Royce Keys, whenever he debuts, will be on SmackDown, so that we have at least one sort of big guy on each show. And I know that Brock Lesnar exists, but whatever. I don't care. Brock Lesnar is a part-timer. Oba Femi is a full-timer. I think he's going on Raw. That gives more eyes on Oba, and plus he's the more popular star than Royce Keys. So I think Oba Femi is going to be on Raw, and he is going to possibly go after the Intercontinental Championship from Dom, I guess. There are some other rivalries like Rusev and maybe Sheamus, right? But I think Oba Femi ultimately will go to the Intercontinental Championship as his first title come later this year. So stay tuned for that. We'll move on to Rhea Ripley and Io Sky taking on Nia Jax and Lash Legend for the Women's Tag Team Championship. I will have Rhea and Io win by pinfall, and I think the next contenders are going to be the Judgment Day going into Mania, as in Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, where Rhea and Io go over at Mania, and they plant more seeds into the whole Judgment Day breakup, what with Finn Balor going out of the group and all that. Rhea and Io, I don't think are going to break up going into Mania. They might break up later in the year. It's just that I think in terms of the timing and in terms of just the division in general, they hold the titles. There could be the possibility that Nia and Lash could win, but seeing their performance on, what is it? That match with, Tiffany? Where they botched a lot. I'm not sure if they will give the titles to Nia and Lash, considering their performance, but they could be improved, that's all I'm saying. But ultimately, I think Rhea and Io win here, and Judgment Day are next. Moving on, Candice LeRae takes on Jordynne Grace. I will have Jordynne Grace win by pinfall in yet another squash match. After the match, she is confronted by Jade Cargill, who invites her to sit ringside for her match later on tonight. So this is sort of a seed planted on sort of the Jordan taking on Jade kind of deal. Maybe they'll have a feud going into Mania, maybe not. But I think Jordan is just ultimately going to just get on these kind of semi feuds with other people before she moves up to face Jade, while Jade sort of, I guess, takes on someone like Bianca Belair. I don't know when she comes back. Maybe at Mania she will come back. So, yeah, I think Jordan for now goes on some mid card feuds, and in the meantime, they'll tease some kind of thing with Jade Cargill later on for a feud. But yeah, that's what will happen there, I suppose. Uncle Howdy takes on Solo Sikoa is next, and I will have it end in a no contest due to some shenanigans involving a lantern being held up as a distraction and Uncle Howdy chasing after it, only to be ambushed by the rest of the MFT. I know it's kind of dumb babyface syndrome, but whatever. They rely on that lantern for their power, alright? That's all I'm saying. The rest of the Wyatt Six come in, and they and the MFT have a brawl. The MFT seem to be winning, as I said earlier, due to the loss of power from the lantern, you know. But Matt Cardona and Apollo Crews come to the rescue. Nick Aldis comes out. He is mad. He is furious that the MFT and Wyatt Six are still at it, even with this match between their leaders. And he says, you know what? I'm tired of you guys fighting each other many times a week. You know what? I will announce a match later on tonight between Matt and Apollo taking on the MFT. And you, the Wyatt Six, should not intervene on this match because you will get your match for the titles against the MFT at a future date. So, ultimately, I think this is going to lead to a tag team championship match at Mania where the Wyatt Six get their lantern back. And not only that, but they get their titles as well. And the MFT can move on to Raw, I guess. I mean, there's no reason why they should stay on SmackDown at this point. So, I think it's a sort of... I guess we're portraying the Wyatt Six as an underdog in this situation, even though they kind of don't deserve the underdog situation treatment. But it is what it is, I guess, if we want to make this feud kind of interesting, I suppose. Because right now, I'm just sick and tired of this feud. So, we'll move on from that to Jade Cargill taking on, yes, that's right, BFAB for the Women's Championship. I will have Jade win decisively by pinfall, obviously. And after the match, I'm going to have Michin come in with a kendo stick. She chases Jade away and then checks on BFAB. Jordan goes into the ring because, she was invited to sit on ringside, and she is. She goes into the ring, check on BFAB as well because she is a face. She cares about people, I guess. Good guys do that. However, Michin pushes her away, which teases a match potentially between them on the episode after this. Jordan, who is sort of, I guess, saddened that she didn't get to help, I guess, leaves the ring while Michin continues to tend to BFAB. Jordan is then confronted by Tiffany Stratton, who is then attacked by Kiana James, who is then attacked by Rhea Ripley, who is then attacked by Raquel Rodriguez, who is then attacked by Alexa Bliss, who is then attacked by Asuka. And all men have a brawler around the ring. Yes, I will have this happen to build up the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Weird placement, but I guess I'll just put it there. And the winner of the match between Michin and Jordan gets a shot at Jade's title on the road to WrestleMania. So that's why I have that match between Michin and Jordan on the episode after this. But yeah, I'm just putting a lot of points on the appearances at this point. I don't think any of this is going to happen, but, well, some things might, but, not that confident. But we'll see. We'll see if some shenanigans happens on that Friday episode there. We'll move on to Matt Cardona and Apollo Cruz taking on Tala Tonga and JC Mateo of the MFT. I will have Matt and Apollo win again due to the 50-50 booking and a distraction from the Wyatt Six. Again, the MFT and the Wyatt Six brawl around the ring once again. And Nick is just over it at this point. He just wants this to be over and done with. The security come out to separate both the Wyatt Six and the MFT. And Nick shouts at both of the teams to get out of the arena because they have been booted off the show. Again, this is sort of selling the whole feud between MFT and the Wyatt Six, just selling how much they sort of hate each other. So that's why I kind of have that spot there. And again, as I said, this is, I think, going to build up the tag team championship match between the MFT and the Wyatt Six at WrestleMania. And this spot, this angle is just to build up to that. So yeah, there we go. Apollo Cruz and Matt Cardona, I don't know what they'll do. They'll probably hang around with Fraxium, I guess, in the backstage segments, while, I don't know, Johnny Gargano just skulks in the background. Main event, Sami Zayn taking on Jacob Fatu. And I will have... now, before I even say this, I kind of have a hard time plotting the end of the show. Because I knew that I wanted to involve, Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre and Cody. But I settled on this one, and I think it makes the most sense, ? So I will have Jacob Fatu win by pinfall because of a distraction from Drew McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre comes in to, cause chaos and the match. After the match, I will have Jacob chase after Drew because, Drew McIntyre is sort of the one to sort of interrupt this match. He is then confronted by Cody, and they, meaning Jacob, Drew, and Cody, brawl around the ring. I'm going to have Drew capitalize on... I will have Drew capitalize on the fact that Jacob is brawling with Cody and attacks both men, but Cody evades a move. He tries a counter. He ends up hitting Sami instead. So Drew laughs. They continue to brawl around the ring itself, and Drew is attacked by Randy Orton with a sudden RKO. The faces are on top. Cody tries to bring Sami back up, but Sami pushes Cody away angrily and walks away. Randy teases an RKO on Cody as the show goes off the air. So with that ending, I wanted to do three things. Number one, I wanted to build up Cody and Randy's sort of quote-unquote feud going into the chamber. The second is I want to display sort of Sami and Cody having some sort of... And it was kind of teased that they don't like each other, or at least Cody has some sort of animosity towards Sami Zayn. So that's why I have that sort of ending set in place. And then third of all, I think is going toward a multi-man match at Mania, and I think this sort of angle at the end of the show kind of fits that, because Jacob, Sami, Drew, and Cody, I think are going to be, or Randy, are going to be the sort of big players going into this feud against Drew McIntyre. So, and again, this is just to plant some more seeds for the heel turn for Cody. So, any questions?
I do have a few questions for you, Bryan.
Oh boy.
Seeing as we've been in this Wyatt Six MFT feud since
last year?
Last year, okay. How do you think? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious to everyone right now that the blow off is going to be at Mania. How do you think they get that far? Because I mean, they've kind of stretched this out enough, and I mean, granted, it's like an extra month and a half.
Yeah.
How do you continue it? How do you think they continue it from here, given that we've already stretched it out probably an extra like 4 months beyond what it should have done?
Well, I will have. Well, building off of the fact that the YT6 and MFT are sort of booted off the show, from what I have here on the booking, what I think will happen is just the fact that both teams kind of cause chaos on SmackDown, sort of eventually kind of interrupting some matches or whatever. And no matter what Nick Aldis does when it comes to booking a member of the MFT versus a member of the YT6 or whatever, it doesn't seem to pan out. And then he realizes, okay, you know what? The YT6 want their titles back. I will give them their opportunity at WrestleMania. And, I've done everything I could to contain this chaos, but obviously you guys don't like each other, so we'll just put it at Mania, right? I think that is the only way to tell this feud to the people at this point, because I feel like this feud, and I know there are some fans of this feud right now, but I think the majority of folks will probably agree that this feud has sort of stretched its limit, and there isn't that much that they could do with this feud besides taking away their lantern. I mean, like, what is next? Are the freaking MFT gonna take their freaking rocking chair or something that freaking Uncle Howdy sits on? Are they gonna take that too? So I think that ultimately it's just going to be the fact that Nick Aldis books these matches between the MFT and the YT6, at least members of them, and it doesn't seem to just quell the chaos. It doesn't seem to contain the chaos because both teams just want to punch the ever living crap out of each other. And Nick Aldis sort of gets to the point of, okay, you know what? Fine. We'll just make this about the title then. You guys want the titles? Fine. We'll just put on a championship match in Mania between you guys and the MFT. And if you guys do not win this, you guys have to go to the back of the line. So I think that's what they will do there. Because ultimately, I don't think there's any other way you can sell this feud between the MFT and the YT6 other than these guys hate each other and the MFT have their lantern. So I don't know. But that's how I would book it, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree in that we really should keep the heat on the MFTs and stay out the heel, but
yeah,
I'm just concerned that I don't know where the YT6 go after this. So
yeah, the YT6,
that's a problem
yeah.
for a later time.
Yeah, that's what you get when you have the YT6 kind of run over the tag team division, right? Because you kind of have nowhere else to go. I guess you could put some members of the YT6 in the US championship scene, or maybe they should probably hang out with Damian Priest or something. I don't know, but this is what happens when they just run amok a division. So the other tag teams just don't get the sort of popularity that they want because the YT6 are just occupying that screen time. And there's no one else, maybe besides Apollo and Matt Cardona, who are just, trying to get on there with the YT6. So yeah, it's a weird situation for sure. Any other questions,
So
I suppose?
who do you think is winning either chamber match?
Oh, I'm still sticking by Cody and Tiffany.
Okay, you think Tiffany's going to repeat? Okay, all right.
I think so. Yeah. Whereas
Okay.
I honestly I think that the women's elimination chamber might be more predictable than the men's. With men's, you could go either Cody or Randy, right? And I don't know where you ultimately side on that. Because any other person, sorry, LA Knight, but you're not winning the chamber. But I think the biggest thing is just it's either Cody or Randy, right? And for the women, you could go Tiffany. You could also maybe go for Io or Rhea, whoever's in there between the two. But I think that the men's is just more predictable than the women. So I think Cody, Tiffany maybe. But I wouldn't be mad if Io or Rhea win that chamber match. But I mean, you could predict the men's. So
Okay. All right. Last thing I want to bring up in regards to the women's. So I just found this interesting stat online.
no.
The WWE Women's Championship, the one that Jade currently holds, has not been defended or featured on a premium live event since SummerSlam of 2025.
Wow.
And it won't be on a premium live event until WrestleMania 42, which will mean 8 months with no appearances on a premium live event. Jade, the current holder, has only had one title defense in the last 4 months. Comparing her to the other title owner, CM Punk, who is more consistent, he has had 4 title defenses in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So that tells you a whole lot that the top women's title has been featured only twice. Sorry. has been featured basically only once in the last 4 months.
You want to know
Not
why?
even on a premium live event. Yes.
You want to know why? Because she's that big.
Yeah. Wow.
Isn't that?
Imagine that being your top women's title and you haven't even had it on a premium live event in 8 months.
Yeah.
Good God.
Wait a minute. Isn't the U.S. champion the women's U.S. champion? She hasn't defended it at all, right? Actually, she has. I think once, if I recall. Right? I think
let me check.
the women's champion I think is on par with the women's U.S. champion in terms of defenses. Right? Because I
Oh
think
my God.
Julia's current reign only had one defense, I think.
I'm sorry. I went to Cage Match to look up Jade's title and see when she defended it. The latest comment from someone was imagine Goldberg, but somehow even more uninspiring in the ring and worse at promos. Oh my God.
They never cease to amaze, man. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can kind of see where they're coming from, man. The way they're booking her is kind of like Goldberg for sure. I think she's been protected in some sort of way for sure.
Okay, so let's see. So since Jade got it back, she has defended it twice. Once on January 11th. Well, actually, technically on January 11th when she won it, and then again in February when she defeated Jordan Grace. So that's once every in the last 2 months for her, twice
Okay.
in the last 2 months. But she's only defended it once, which technically was against Jordan. If we're looking at Julia, am I looking this up? Her title was this one. Matches. Julia has defended it in her first reign
Yeah.
4 times.
Okay.
In about 4 times in about 4 months, which is about average.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea defended it 3 times in 3 months, and then now Julia has defended it twice in
Okay.
2 months. So she's definitely been more active than Jade Cargill. Which is interesting because we joked that she was on a milk carton and she never showed up. but
Yeah.
she at least defended it more than Jade Cargill has with her current
That's
title.
true.
So. Oh,
I mean,
all right.
Jade's just there for the promo time, you know.
Yes, she is. 30
She
seconds
is
of
that
promo
B.
time. Anyway, I am ready to get to my card.
All right,
So.
let's move on to your card then. Starting off with
We have a Cody Rhodes promo. He comes out. He's going to put over the Elimination Chamber match. I believe this is his second Elimination Chamber match, I believe. Yes.
that sounds right. Yeah, I think so.
Yes, that sounds right. Yes. And all the other participants of the men's chamber match come out. So you got Trick Williams, the Bouncy Boy, Yeet Man, unfortunately, the Golden Jobber himself, and the other guy, which is Randy Orton. They all come out and stand, and there's a bit of a standoff. I was mixing stare down and standoff. Then the Vision, whatever is left of the Vision at this point, come out and attack Jey Uso. Drew McIntyre comes down with them and attacks Cody Rhodes. Jacob Fatu comes down and starts wailing on Drew McIntyre, and there is just a big mess of people in and outside the ring. Now, I am not putting this because I'm putting a bunch of people in the opening segment so I get points. I originally thought before. So obviously Jey Uso was a replacement because if you noticed in the match they didn't have the graphic ready, so there was no graphic of all the participants in the elimination chamber.
Yeah.
So he was definitely a replacement. And my initial thought was like, okay, well, what if they decide to make a last minute swerve where let's say that on SmackDown Jey Uso gets like kayfabe injured, and they put in like Jacob Fatu, or they put in maybe like Austin Theory or Logan Paul instead. But I don't think they're going to do that because Jey Uso is now on the poster, so he's more or less going to be in the match.
Instead, we're going to get Jay yeeting on top of the Elimination Chamber cage, baby.
I can imagine where he comes out of the cage and he just stops and he like looks at the hard camera and he does that little like thing with his hands while the match is going on in the corner.
You know what? I saw this Royal Rumble clip where when Jey Uso's music hit, Brock Lesnar whispered to Cody, "Eliminate me, man."
I saw that. He was doing the yeeting, and he was like, "Hey, eliminate me," and then Cody comes up first.
That's how you know. That's how you know Brock does not want to work with Jey Uso. He's like, I am not working with this botch fucking guy, man. I'm not. Just fucking eliminate me from this match, bro.
So I think that this continues Cody's feud with Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, and I think that they're going to use this shoot injury to Bronson Reed to forward a feud going into WrestleMania between the Vision and the Usos for the tag team titles. Because if you want to keep this faction on life support, which, I mean, it needs to be, it's almost dead, literally. Like, now the majority of the faction is injured. You need to give them a title to make them relevant. And I think that's where they're going at WrestleMania, where the Vision may win the tag team titles. Maybe Braun Breaker comes back. Maybe Bronson Reed is back in time. I don't know how long a torn bicep takes, probably a little while. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I think that's where they're going. Or,
hear me out, the Vision can start recruiting half of the Raw roster, just like the NWO did in 1990. Yeah, it makes sense, because when one member goes down, there's another replacement. And he's the guy working for the same faction. Come on, man. Eric Bischoff was a genius, man.
There's got to be another guy you can add to the Vision at this point. There has to be, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you said, that faction is just cursed, man. It's just cursed. It's cursed beyond belief.
There is no Vision for the Vision at this point. Paul Heyman should just probably just be like, guys, I can't do this anymore.
Just pack it in. We're done.
Disband the group. Boys, I no longer have the vision for the vision. I'm out.
The vision is the hospital bed. That's the vision.
Uh,
Okay.
who
All
do you
right.
think?
Next match. Oh
No,
no.
no. I was just gonna
Sure.
ask who you think wins the men's chamber now that we have everyone on here.
Oh, the men's chamber. I think it's Cody. I definitely think it's Cody.
Whoa.
I think Randy has an outside chance, and I think that if I have to rank it by who I think is going to win, it's probably Cody. Definitely is going to win it. Randy, then LA Knight, then Jey Uso, then Trick Williams, and then Javon Evans.
Yeah, that I would also rank that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on from that then too.
Jordan Grace versus Candice LeRae. They had a bit of a tiff lab backstage last week while Johnny Gargano continues to land on top of boxes for some reason. They need to let him go to AEW and just join his friend again because he's very depressed.
Yeah, his partner is gone, man.
Despite having a bombshell life, this man is still depressed. I don't know what would make him happy ever again. So
he wants that
anyway,
mustache, not mustache. He wants that beard. Okay, he wants to get that beard of a man alongside him to win the tag team championships in some other company. I think that's what Johnny Gargano wants. He wants that Champa beard.
he
Right?
does. He does. I think Jordan wins this one. I think this is starting her build back to possibly being in the women's title scene. Maybe she picks up the U.S. title first off of Julia, but I think she gets put back into the women's title scene, similar to how they did with Tiffany. So
Yeah. I mean, at least Candice has a match. I guess Johnny hasn't had a match in months, but yeah, whatever. We'll move on from that then too.
we have a Rhea Ripley promo similar to the men's promo. All the chamber entrants come out and have a standoff. Jade Cargill comes out to the stage and says it doesn't matter who wins because she'll beat them at WrestleMania anyway because she is that bitch, and then leaves. Apropos of how all of her promos have gone her entire reign, takes less than 30 seconds before she leaves. So, there you go.
I like how they just look at Goldberg and they're like, what if we just apply the same match mentality and apply it to the promos of Jade Cargill? You know how Goldberg wins his matches in like 30 seconds? Well, why don't we have Jade win the hearts and minds of people in 30 seconds? That would surely go down really, really well with the people. No, but yeah. I oh I predicted that Tiffany would win the women's chamber. Who do you think wins the women's chamber? Are you sticking with your earlier pick here?
I am sticking with Rhea Ripley. Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you are just predicting a full on breakup between Rhea and Io going into Mania.
Yes, I am. Yes, we do. Yep.
All right. Fair enough. We'll move on from that then too.
We have a Miz versus Oba Femi match. The Miz got himself into a match with Oba Femi before trying to get out of it last week. I think Oba Femi wins by a pinfall in a squash match. I think Oba Femi is heading towards the main event scene. He basically is Amos if Amos could do anything in the ring.
Yeah.
So I also like his entrance, how he like kind of bounces down to the ring and like this very like jolly walk that he has. You know,
Oh, right. I think that's because he's Nigerian. They're trying to make him do that kind of tribalistic Nigerian walk, I guess.
He is like one of those. You know how they used to do back in like the early '90s, where they used to have like these exotic wrestlers like Kamala, right?
Oh
He's like
yeah,
Kamala, but actually threatening. Like Kamala, when Kamala came out, you were like, okay, he's big, but like he's kind of fat, so I guess you could like get around him. Like Oba Femi comes out, and you're like, oh shit, like
yeah,
this dude is fucking huge.
yeah. Are
Yeah,
you?
what I'm
Yeah.
saying is he has the means to back up his aura. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
he
Yes.
doesn't have the means to back up his aura.
He's just built different, man. He's just built different. What brand do you think he lands on? Do you think he lands on Raw? Do you think he lands on SmackDown? Where do you think
I
Oba goes here?
think he lands on what the opposite brand of whatever Trick Williams is on, which I think is
Raw.
SmackDown. Wait, Trick is on Raw?
No, Trick is on SmackDown, my guy.
No, Trick is on.
Trick is on SmackDown.
He is.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I was thinking Javon Evans. Right. So Javon
Yeah,
Evans is
Javon
on
is on
Raw.
Raw. Yeah.
And then I thought you said Raw. Yeah, yeah. So he's on Smack. So Trick is on SmackDown. So I think Oba Femi probably goes to Raw. I'd say. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
or uh, yeah, I think he goes to Raw. I think he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that. Well, actually, you know what? Actually, it makes more sense if he stays on SmackDown because I know he has a feud probably coming with
With
what's
Kit
his face?
Wilson.
Yeah, Kit Wilson. And then he also has a feud with Damian Priest probably in the near future as well. So
Okay.
I can, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would rather have him put in a feud, and I'm sorry to even say this, but I think it would be better for him to be put in a feud with Kit Wilson because Kit Wilson is popular. The people are getting behind him, and this only serves to sort of build both of them up. Whereas if you put him against a feud with Damian Priest, it's just like, well, who cares? It's Damian Priest. He hasn't done much lately, except be on a feud with Aleister Black, seemingly never ending, but now recently done. But okay, no, I think there are some potential opponents there on SmackDown as well, so it would be interesting to see where he goes, I suppose, from those choices. But we'll move on from that too.
The semi-main event, Uncle Howdy Unk, the actual Unk, comes out to face Solus Koa in what I believe is Uncle Howdy's SmackDown debut. I don't think he's actually been
Really?
in
I'm
a
pretty sure he
match.
has. I'm pretty sure he has had a match before. I could
Uh,
be wrong though.
uh,
I remember that Uncle Howdy was in the Mountain Dew, whatever the hell that match was, against LA Knight. If you
oh
remember
right, yes, that
that.
was like one of the first ever ones I watched. Was where he took out LA Knight from the top of the crew.
Yeah,
Yes. So since he
and
came
he
back,
missed. But but
yeah,
yeah.
since he came back, as the Wyatt Six, which I think was in 2024 or not 2024, when the Wyatt Six came back, they his original debut was in 2024 when he beat the Final Testament, which was Karrion Cross's short-lived
Oh
faction.
yeah, I forgot about the Final Testament.
Um, and yeah, he has had tag team matches ever since. And what I was going to say, Brian, is this is his singles debut. This is his first ever singles
Oh
match.
right.
Ever since now, he has had um, tag team matches. So
Okay. So I guess the question is, do you think? I'm guessing you're thinking that this leads to a tornado tag team match, and I don't know. Do you think the MFT wins that match or the White Six? I mean,
I think the MFTs win, but the Wyatt Six get their lantern back.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's it, I suppose. I mean, I don't know what else you could do after that, except put him in a feud with some other tag team that no one even remembers. But yeah. All right, fair enough. We'll move on from that to the main event, which is
The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. We have Rio versus the Irresistible Forces. Yes, that is the name of this tag team. I think Nia Jax and Lash Legend take the titles from Rio here. Like I said previously, I think they need Rhea and Io to go back into the singles scene, and I think this is where this experiment ends because Rhea is going to win the chamber. I think that if they lose here, Rhea wins the chamber probably, and she goes on her singles run to try and get the title back. That is what I think happens.
okay.
Because, like it or not, Rhea is still a draw. As a main event star, she is still super over, and it makes the most sense to put her back in the title scene where you have two completely apathetic title holders. And man, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, Stephanie Lockhair isn't as bad as Jade Cargill, but the only reason
No.
Stephanie Lockhair. Okay, I will say this: Vaquer, at least beyond the Gooner move, she can do stuff in the ring. Okay,
Yes.
she actually has a bag. Jade is like the opposite. Like Jade, well, actually not, because Jade really can't do anything. She looks good. She really can't do anything else though. So I think they need to inject some really good talent back into this women's title scene, and I think that's what they're going to do with Rhea.
Okay.
By the way, Bryan,
Yeah.
this is probably for Raw, but good lord, can we discuss this fucking Liv Morgan promo on Monday night?
I'm
Holy
okay,
shit,
sure,
man.
I guess. Yeah. I guess, yeah. I mean, this is more for Raw though, but
You know, yeah, I'll save
whatever.
it for Raw. I'll save it for Raw because, man, I have some I have some
You have some things to
comments.
say? Oh boy.
Yes, I
All right.
do.
Fair enough. We'll save it for Raw. No worries. So with that, that is what we got for this episode of SmackDown coming this Friday for the go home show for the Elimination Chamber. And as I said earlier, we are going to watch the next episode of SmackDown as it comes out. And then we will come back here on the next episode of this show. We will give you what we got in terms of points for our predictions and bookings, and then we do the whole shebangle over again. So, until then, thank you for ordering a blue cheese pizza called probably next week on SmackDown from Grapperinos. And remember, if you're down for some fresh, oven-baked, crispy wrestling content, stop on by Grapperinos and order yourself some content you can grapple with. See you next time, Grapperinos.